Hi, in this video, we're going to take a look at how to use present values, future values, and annuity formulas to calculate savings and retirement consumptions. If I'm a 30-year-old salaried worker, currently earning £50,000 per year, and for simplicity, we're going to assume that the discount rate is going to stay constantly at 5% throughout the years, and I always save 10% of my salary as my savings. And I will start saving at the age of 31, and I plan to retire at the age of 60. And I'm also planning to spend all my savings for 20 years after retirement. Okay, so the first saving would happen at the beginning of the year age of 31, and the last saving will happen at the beginning of year 60. So how much would I have saved at the age of 60? So basically, each year I would have saved £5,000. Okay, and that's the constant cash flow throughout the 30 years. So there will be 30 payments or 30 savings, and we're going to calculate the future value of those savings, because the question is how much would I have saved at the age of 60. Okay, so at the beginning of age 60, I would have saved all those 30 payments. So that's a future value. So there are two ways of calculating this. The first one being we calculate the future value directly. So the first payment at the age of 31 will be compounded 29 times. Okay, so 1.05 to the power of 29, not 30, because the last payment is made at the age of 60, and we're calculating the savings on the age of 60. So that last payment is not compounded. So the first payment is only going to be compounded for 29 times. Okay, and you can add all the rest of the savings, which is 5,000 times 1.5 to the power of 28, and then all the way to the last saving, which is 5,000 itself. Okay, so if you can remember from the previous videos, I provided a way of calculating the sum of the geometric series. So you can plug in the formulas, and you can plug the numbers back to the formulas, and you will have the answer. So if you remember, the formula was a1 q to the power of t minus 1 divided by q minus 1. Okay, the q is the common ratio here, and the common ratio here is 1.05. Okay, so if we do this, we should get a number of 332,194.24 pounds. Okay, and that's the total amount of savings I would have made at the age of 60. Okay, so there's another way to calculate this as well. So if you don't remember this, if you don't remember how to calculate the geometric series summation, or the sum of the geometric series, you can always do it in the annuity way. Okay, so let's take a look at all the savings present value. So I know I'm going to save 30 payments. Okay, each payment being equal, which is 5,000. So why don't I just calculate the present value of all my savings? Okay, so we can use our annuity formula, which is 5,000 divided by 0.05. Okay, that is the discount rate. Okay, and 1 over 1.5 to the power of 30. But then this is the present value at the age of 30 for all the future savings, right? So now I'm going to need the future value here. Okay, so what do? I can just multiply this by 1.5 to the power of 30. And that should give exactly the same answer of 332,194.25 pounds. Okay, so this is by saying if I just discount all my savings to the present, and I combine or pack them up and compound them into the future, what's going to be the future value? Which is going to be the same logic as if we just calculate the future value directly. Okay, so that solves the first problem. How much would I have saved at the age of 60? Then how I'm going to spend this savings. So let's assume that I'm going to spend these savings equally throughout the years. Okay, so I would like to smooth my consumption here. Okay, so I can spend for 20 years. So now basically we're provided with the present value of our future consumption, which is our savings here. Okay, so 332,194.24 is actually the present value. Now I'm going to calculate the consumption per year. So basically we're using the annuity formula in another way. So we're calculating the constant payment, in this case consumption, rather than the present value itself. So we can also just plug in numbers here. It's going to be the consumption divided by 0.05, 1 minus 1 over 1.05 to the power of 20. So remember, on 20 years. Okay, so what's the number going to be? It's going to be 26,656.24. Okay, so you might run into some of those rounding errors, but if you get mostly the correct answer that is very close to the number here, you should be fine. Okay, so that means I can spend £26,656 per year from my savings for 20 years. Okay, so let's take a look at another sort of question here. So if I plan ahead and I would like to spend 40,000 per year after retirement, keeping all others the same. Okay, I'm still 30 years old now, and I'm planning to retire at the age of 60, and I plan to spend 20 years of my savings. And the retirement target is 40,000 per year. I would like to consume this much. Then how much should I save at the age of 60? And what percentage of my salary should I save now? Okay, so first we should calculate the saving target. Okay, the savings target, which is the present value of the 20 years of spending of consumption at £40,000 per year. Okay, so the present value of that retirement consumption can be calculated as follows. So 40,000 divided by 0.5, 0.05, okay, and 1 minus 1 over 1.5 to the power of 20, okay, and that's going to give us the number of 498,488.41, okay, and that's the savings I should have saved at the age of 60. And now we're trying to calculate this savings percentage. So how much as a percentage from my savings should I save from my salary here? Okay. So what should we do? We can also calculate the present value of this at the age of 30. So the present value at the age of 30 for my savings is going to be 498,488.41 divided by 1.05 to the power of 30, which should give us the answer of 115,338.98. Okay, so that's the present value of my savings at the age of 30. And I know this present value of savings is made of 30 equal payments, or 30 equal savings here. Okay, so I can work out what are the payments are, what are the equal payments are. So again, we're using the annuity formula in another way, which is calculating the C, or the constant payments here. Okay, so let's use 115,338.98 as the present value, and we're going to calculate the payments here. So this payment will be C over R, 1 minus 1.05 to the power of 30. Okay, and this should give us C is equal to 7,502.97. Okay, so this should be my savings per year. And as a percentage, and that's going to be 7,502.97 divided by 50,000. And that's roughly 15%. So I should have saved 15% of my salary as my savings per year for the next 30 years so that I can spend my savings in my desired way. Okay, so you should know how to plan for your future and how to manage your savings and manage your consumption expectations after retirement using the present value, future value, and of course the annuity formula. I'll see you in the next video.